Great.
All right, I got mine out. Anyone else need one? Just tell this is
What? I know. He what? He needs my voice.
the schematic.
Oh, you didn't get it?
No, what would it be? I got mine.
No, we're good. Yeah, I just have to get my stuff in. Alex, hi. I need you. I want you to go to the bathroom. Have you gone to the bathroom? Will you do that? Are you done with the Talmud? You done with the Talmud?
You want us to wear Tully?
No, I
I didn't think so.
yeah, whatever you want, sir.
Okay. No flash.
Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Shabbat afternoon as we celebrate the Bat Mitzvah of Alexandra Ansin. We are so thrilled to be here together as a community. My name is Rabbi Joanne Loyvin, and I'm joined by Cantor Lisa Siegel today, and we are thrilled to be here to celebrate with Alexandra and everyone who has come here to support. We begin our service today with the Nigun. That's a song without words.
Let's see if I'm on. Oh, I am. Okay. Ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la, ya la la. Ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la, ya la la. Ya la la, ya la la, ya la la. Ya to officially welcome Alex to the Bima, and she will be leading most of the service here for us this afternoon. So in order to do so, she will first be wrapped in this talit, and I invite her parents up to present it to her. And Alex, this talit is a four-cornered garment, as you can see. You can stand here and hold it up. And on each of the four corners, as you can see, there are fringes called tzitzit. There are tzitzit at each of the fringes of this garment, and the tzitzit represent a lot of things. They represent mitzvot, which we spoke about at our first meeting when we had the meeting about you becoming a bat mitzvah, that's both good deeds. The commandments are both good deeds, and specifically rituals that make you Jewish, like becoming a bat mitzvah, celebrating Shabbat, celebrating holidays with your family. And when you wrap yourself around this talit in the future, not only will you be reminded of your Judaism and what it is to be a good person, but you'll also be reminded of your parents' love as they'll wrap you in your talit for the first time. So I invite you now to say the blessing for the talit.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu lehitatef batzitzit.
Amen. Beautiful. It's a gorgeous one. Wear it well. And we now sing, as is the custom when we are happy to arrive at a really special occasion. We sing the Shahiani Blessing as we are thankful for coming and being able to arrive at this time in this place on this day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. as it is custom, lead us in the service. She will begin with our first prayers. Mazel tov.
We chant the Ashrei responsively. Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, od yechalalu hasela.
Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo, Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Elohav.
Teila leDavid, armimcha Elohai hamelech, ve'avarcha shimcha leolam va'ed.
Bechol yom avarchecha, va'ala shimcha leolam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai umchulal meod, ve'ligdulato ein hekel.
Dor ledor yishabach ma'asecha, ugvurotecha yagidu.
Hadar kevod hodecha, ve'divrei nifleotecha ya'asiha.
Zecher rav tuvecha, ve'ezuz norotecha yomeru, ugdulatecha asaprena.
Zecher rav tuvecha yabiu, ve'tzitecha yaranenu.
Chanun v'rachum Adonai, erech apayim ugdol chesed.
Tov Adonai lako, ve'rachamav al kol ma'asav.
Yoducha Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yivarchucha.
Kevod malchutecha yomeru, ugvuratecha yedaberu.
Lehodia lifnei ha'adam gevurotav, uchvod hadar malchuto.
Malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'melshaltecha bechol dor v'ador.
Somech Adonai lechol hanoflihim, v'zokef lechol hakafufihim.
Einei kol elecha yesaberu, ve'ata noten lachem et ochlam beito.
Poteach et yadecha, u'matzbiya lechol chai ratzon.
Tzadik Adonai bechol deracha, ve'chasid bechol ma'asav.
Karov Adonai lechol kor ahav, lechol asher yikra'uhu ve'emet.
Retzon yere'av ya'aseh, ve'et shavatam yishma ve'yoshiem.
Shomer Adonai et kol ohavaha, ve'et kol harshayim yashmihi.
Teilat Adonai yedaber pi, vivarech kol basar shem kodsho le'olam va'ed, va'anachnu nevarech ya. Me'ata ve'ad olam, hallelujah. Please turn to page 224 for the Hatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash le'raba, ve'amad yivrach v'ritei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'hagala, uv'izman kariv, v'yimeru, amen, yesh me'raba mevorach, Le'alam u'lol le'almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitromam v'yithadar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekodesha barichu le'la min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran be'alma ve'yemeru. Amen.
We turn to page 226 and rise for the Amida. Adonai sefatai tiftaf ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Haste Avot Ve'imaot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mehayeh kol hatal rav le'Hoshia. Morid hatal, Mehalkel Hayim behesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim. Somef noflim ve'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayeh emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua. Nata lechayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mehayeh hakol. We remain standing for the Kaddish on page 232.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו מאדיר, שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ורחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון לדור ודור. Okay, Sophie.
To all generations, we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. We continue with the Keddushat Hayom on page 234. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu chotze vimnuchatenu. Our God and God of our ancestors, please be with our rest.
Kaddishenu b'mitzvotecha v'ten chelkeinu b'toratecha. Kaddishenu
continue with the Retzeh on pages 236 through 237. Continue with the prayer of gratitude, Modim Anachnu Lach, on page 238. Modim Anachnu Lach, She'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu, Ve'Elohei Avotenu Ve'imotenu Leolam Va'ed. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one, whose mercies never end, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, tovot shimcha ulcha ne'eh lechodot. We sing together a prayer for peace, Shalom Rav, page 240.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Omecha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Omecha Tasim Le'olam. Ki Ata Melech Adon L'chol HaShalom. Ki Ata Melech Adon Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. We take a few moments for our own silent reflections. Alexander, today is your special day, like your sisters who went before you. Today's your day to take your place amongst your peers and your family, to take the Torah into your own hands, to chant its sacred words, and to teach its important message to all of us. Today is the day that you take your place. Taking your place in an enduring line. This is the day that you stand up to say, our tradition is mine. You will now read the Torah. It's been passed on to you. It's our law and our story, but each telling is new. It is said we stood at Sinai, and today you know you're there. You're the promise of a people, a blessing and a prayer. Taking your place in a resilient line. This is the day that you stand up to say, our tradition is mine. You will now hold the Torah, for to link to the past. You're the face of our future and the reason we last. Lahalechet bidrachav lishmor mitzvotav kol hayamim. May you walk in God's ways, and may all of your days be blessings. It is said we stood at Sinai, and today you know you're there. You're the promise of a people, a blessing and a prayer. You're the promise of a people, a blessing and a prayer.
We now turn to Seder Kiryat HaTorah, the Torah service, which can be found on page 246. I invite you all to rise as we open the ark doors.
Ki b'tzion tetzeh Torah, ki b'tzion tetzeh Torah, u'devar Adonai Yerushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, b'hidushato, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlul Adonai iti, Uneromema Shemo, יחדיו.
Alex, this is the Torah. This is Israel's Morashah, Israel's sacred heritage and tradition. Wherever the Jewish people have gone, the Torah has gone. The Torah has always been with the Jewish people and will always be with the Jewish people. Passed down from generation to generation, as you just sang with your sisters, Lador Vador, from generation to generation. We're going to symbolically pass this Torah down as well throughout the generations of your family until you, today, you get to receive the Torah yourself. So in order to do that, we'll pass down from grandparents and parents.
We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. Lador vador nagid kod lecha. Lador vador protect this chain from generation to generation. The door of a door, these lips will praise your name. The door of a door, nagid kod lecha. The door of a door, we protect this chain from generation to generation. The door of a door, these lips will praise your name. Lecha Adonai hagedola, v'hagevura, v'hatiferet, v'hanetzach v'chahod. Kichol b'shamayim u'va'aretz, kichol b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha
You may all be seated. And it is now my pleasure to invite back up Tatiana and Andrew to bless Alexandra on this day.
Speech or the bracha? Speech. Okay, we're ready. So Alex doesn't laugh at all of my dad jokes. Hopefully she'll find this one funny and not too annoying. The speech, that is. So Alex, when she was about 4, was receiving a very hard time from her 2 sisters, Helen and Sophie. And they were picking on her a lot, and she wasn't very happy about it. So I sat Alex down, and we watched the nature videos of this little creature called the honey badger. And you see, the honey badger is really tough. The honey badger will stick its paw in the honey, where the honey is and all the bees are, and it'll get stung like thousands of times, and it just doesn't care. It'll just take the honey. In fact, it's so tough that the lions and the other large predators of the jungle, they don't mess with the honey badger, because the honey badger, even though it's smaller than them, will just keep fighting them and biting them, and whatever a honey badger does. Well, after about, I told Alex, I said, Alex, you need to be a honey badger. Don't let your sisters give you this hard time. You need to fight them and stand up for yourself here. Well, after about 2 weeks of that, she came to me and said, well, Dad, it's just this honey badger thing. This honey badger thing, it just isn't working. It's just causing the situation to escalate, and we're not getting the intended result that we wanted. I said, okay. So I realized at that point that Alex was not only very sensitive, but also very intelligent. And I started to think that, well, maybe Alex isn't a honey badger. Maybe she's a wise owl. Oh, she's smart, right? And then later, Alex would tell me that to help conversations with people, she would oftentimes mimic what they say, repeat what they say to them. I said, Alex isn't an owl. Maybe she's a parrot. And Alex also laughs a lot, but not in the way that a hyena laughs in this annoying way, but rather Alex will have a very warm, nice smile on her face and laugh, kind of like you might imagine a porpoise does, a dolphin. So the other thing you should know about Alex is she's never really let me be very touchy or feely or huggy with her, right? I think the only time I got to hug her was when we got a dog. And so it reminds me more of a porcupine. And the other thing with Alex is she spills things a lot. And matter of fact, so often so, and so much more so than the rest of us, that we've nicknamed her the Spilly Girl. And for that, maybe she's really a bull, kind of the proverbial bull in the china shop. But really, seriously, Alex is very, very athletic, very fast, like a cheetah. She can jump high like a kangaroo. She's very strong like a gorilla. She's very elegant and graceful in the way she moves like a swan. But in doing all these sports, some of you may know she's received a lot of concussions. And as a result of that, I'm not so sure about her memory. She may not be an elephant. But Alex is also very protective, and particularly so into the annoyance of her younger brother, Sydney, who unfortunately isn't here today because he is recovering from being sick. Not COVID, he will tell you. So she's very protective, takes good care of him, tells him what to do. So chances are she might have a little bit of marsupial running through her, and she's like a possum or a koala bear carrying the little babies in their pouch. But in all seriousness, Alex is very beautiful, warm, friendly human. In the end, she is a beautiful, beautiful human. A great daughter, wonderful sister, and one day, hopefully before I'm 70 or at least 75, you'll be an excellent mother. Congratulations. We love you, Alex.
Well, usually when a girl growing up, she always picks the names for her children. By the time we expected our
first child, somehow I didn't really have the name for a girl, and I was really sure that my firstborn would be a boy. So we had the first one, girl, and by that time, my husband said, how about name her Sophie, after his paternal grandmother? And I liked it, and I said, well, if it's going to be a boy, I would like to name him Alexander. Well, Sophie was born, and we're expecting the second child, and my husband said, I'm picking the girls' names, so let's call her Helen, after my maternal grandmother. I'm like, okay, I'm naming the boy, so Alexander. So Helen was born. We're expecting our third child, and this time we decided not to find out the gender. It was supposed to be surprised, even though most of our family kind of knew that it's going to be a girl. So in the hospital, when she was born, and we knew it's a girl, my husband said, well, during your pregnancy, my maternal grandfather, Henry, passed away, so I'm naming the girls. Let's call her Henrietta. And I was like, no, that's it. This one is mine, Alexandra. So Alexandra was called after my paternal grandmother. Her name was Natalie Alexandra. But she had very, very tough life. So I was very happy to reverse her name, Alexandra Natalie. So completely reverse and make her destiny happy and successful. So by saying that this one's mine, it actually kind of became a little truce, starting from very early childhood. She was my girl. She only wanted to be with me, sitting on my lap. She didn't really wanted anybody next to her. Like Andy said, she was like, don't even hug me. So she was only letting me hug her and be with her. And on top of it, she does look like me. She has brown eyes. She is strong in endurance like me. Well, I think she's definitely way more smarter than me, though. And I'm really looking forward to what she will accomplish in this life. She's very intelligent, beautiful, loving. She does take care of her little brother very well, even though she's not mother, but she's very motherly. She's bossing him way more than I do to get him annoyed. And I know you will grow into very beautiful, smart, successful woman, and everything you put in front of you, you are very determined and you achieve it. So we love you very much, and mazel tov.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing such beautiful words. And now Alexandra will read from the Torah. We will begin, if you would like to follow along in the Torah itself, we have the bigger book that is underneath your seat. We will begin on page 819. She's reading from Parshat Emor, which is Leviticus chapter 21, beginning verse 1.
In a minute, when I find the Torah verse. And more. Okay, here it is. Okay, just a second. Wait. Wait, please. Wait 1 second.
Yamdu ha'olim la'aliyah harishona. For the first Aliyah, I would like to call up my grandmother, Toby Ansin, and my grandmother's life partner, Sanford Evans, to the Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaBaruch.
Baruch Adonai HaBaruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBaruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Bochar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'notan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe Emor el HaKohanim b'nei Aharon ve'amarta alehem lenefesh lo yitama בעמיו, כי אם נשארו הקרוב אליו, לאמו ולאביו, ולבנו ולביתו ולאחיו, ולאחותו הבתולה הקרובה אליו, אשר לא הייתה לאיש לה איתמה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher notan lanu Torah temes v'chayei olam notah b'zochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Wish her mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Give her.
I think you're smart and beautiful
Wait,
too.
you're gonna come on this side, ma'am? You're gonna come,
Toby?
Actually, come stand over here.
right here now, yeah. Be careful.
You don't want to knock your grandpa down there for the light partner won't be full of light.
Yamdu ha'olim la'aliyah hashniya. For the second aliyah, I would like to call up my aunt and uncle Stephanie and James Ansin to the Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai hamavorach leolam vahed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Lo itama ba'al be'amav lehechalo. Lo ikrehu kocha berosham ufat zekanam lo yegolehu uviv saram lo yisretu saratet. Kedoshim yiyu lelohehem ולא יחללו שם אלוהיהם, כי את אישי אדוני לחם אלוהיהם הם מקריבים והיו קודש.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Nice to see you at a happy. Greet your family. Greet her. Oh, greet her. Come on this side.
Yamdu ha'olim le'aliyah hashlishit, Avi Avraham ben Shlomo ve'Tova Devorah ve'achioti Shira bat Avraham ve'achioti Ora bat Avraham. For the third aliyah, I would like to call up my mother and father, Tatiana and Andrew, my sisters, Sophie and Helen, and brother, Sydney, to the Torah. Baruch et Adonai Hamarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach le'olam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu
Torato.
Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Isha sona v'halala lo yikahu ve'isha gerusha me'isha lo yikahu ki kadosh hu lelohav ve'ki dashto ki et lechem elohecha hu makriv Kadosh yihye lach, ki kadosh ani yihye Adonai mekadishem. Uvat ish kohen ki tehel lisnot et avicha hi mechalelet ba'esh tisaref.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam notah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Wish her a mazel tov.
And now for the very special Bat Mitzvah Aliyah. It is our custom at Temple Shalom where we actually read from the Sephardic scroll, which is in our ark. So as the ark doors are opened, I invite everyone to rise. Alexander's Aliyah can be found on page 830 if you are following along in the Torah.
Ta'amod ta'amod habachura bat hamitzvah v'aliyat haTorah Shamira bat Avraham chizki chizki
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Hold on 1 second. You're right. You're a good girl.
Umake vehema yeshalemena, umake adam yumat. Mishpat echad yihye lahem, kagel kaezrach yihye, ki ani Adonai Elohehem. Vaydaber Moshe el bnei Israel, vayotziu et hamekalel el mihutz lamachane, vayogemu oto aven uvnei Israel asu kaasher tzivah Adonai et Moshe. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Beautiful. Yasher Koach. You may be seated.
The Haftarah for Shabbat and more can be found on page 846. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratah v'divreihem hane'emarim ba'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'torah u'Moshe avdo ובישראל עמו, ובנביאי האמת והצדק. והכהנים הלוויים בני צדוק אשר שמרו את משמרת מקדשי בתאות בני ישראל מעלי המה יקרבו אלי לשרתני ועמדו לפניי להקריב לי לבדם נאו אדוני אלוהים המה יבואו אל מקדשי והמה יקרבו אל שולחני לשרתני ושמרו החצר הפנים את משמרתי והיה בבואם אל שערי החצר הפנימית בגדי פשתים ילבשו ולא יעלה עליהם צמר בשרתם בשערי החצר הפנימית בביתה פערי פשתים יהיו על ראשם ומכנסי פשתים יהיו על מותניהם לא יחגרו ביעזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם צור כעולמים צדיק בכל הדורות האל הנאמן האומר והעושה המדבר ומקיים שכל דבריו אמת וצדק אל תורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ואל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה לכבוד ולתפארת על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני
ברוך הוא וברוך שמו
מקדש השבת
Amen. Beautiful. So now you're going to do your nice and slow, okay?
Beautiful. And as Alexandra has read from the Torah and read from Haftarah so beautifully, she will now teach us a bit about the Torah portion this week.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My Torah portion is Emor, which is in the book of Leviticus, the third book of the Torah. In my Torah portion, the Israelites are in the middle of their 40-year journey from Egypt to Israel, and they are currently in the Sinai wilderness. They were at the tent of meetings, which is the portable sanctuary where Moses speaks to everyone and tells them about laws. There are many laws about priests, the gifts for temple, and sacrifice. Other laws given include laws on blasphemy and pronouncing God's name, profanity, murder, and cursing others. Moses also told them about many holidays and special events on the calendar mentioned, including Shabbat, Pesach, Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot. I think it's fascinating that all these laws are given at the tent of meeting. This portable holy place is interesting because the people needed a place for God, something they could see and somewhere to convene. The tabernacle, the portable holy place, to make it seem important, holy, and special. The temple was covered in multiple gems, gold, silver, copper, fine linen, and many more luxurious items. God instructed them and told them how to construct it with very specific details. It's enchanting how even back then there was a creation of the idea to make their holy place portable. The temple could be taken apart and put back together quickly. There was just one tabernacle, and it moved with the Israelites who were all together. Today, we don't have just one portable sanctuary. Instead, we have many temples around the world, and we are now the ones who are mobile. I understand why people need a place to gather together, a place to feel God. However, I have found a few places that feel holy or special that are outside of the sanctuary and don't look as fancy or decorated. For example, one time when I was visiting Switzerland, I saw a waterfall. The waterfall was gleaming, almost as if God was trying to speak to me. That makes me think there are many ways a place can be holy. We have the sanctuary, and we also have the beauty of nature. A common misunderstanding about holy places seems to be that they always have to be filled with luxurious items and plated with materials such as gold. They do not necessarily need to be elegantly accessorized. Beauty comes in all forms. Some ways other than luxury are nature and people. People can feel holiness anywhere in the world, but it's still nice to have a place to gather, to convene, and to celebrate. I'm so grateful that you all have come here together to celebrate as I become a bat mitzvah. To me, becoming a bat mitzvah means becoming independent, accepting responsibility for my acts, and marking a major milestone in life. As a bat mitzvah, I am now a woman on the way of becoming an adult. It is no longer my parents' responsibility, but mine. I will continue to demonstrate to God that I will work hard to do the right thing, and I am looking forward to continuing to celebrate the Jewish tradition, especially my favorite holidays such as Purim, Pesach, and Hanukkah. I would like to thank my parents for always being there for me and supporting me, encouraging me, raising me to be who I am, and having a strong education. Thank you to my siblings. Thank you for always making me laugh. Thank you, Sophie and Helen, for being my role models. And thank you, Sydney, for making Shabbat fun with your outfits. Thank you to my grandparents for guiding me through the years. Babushka and Diedushka, thank you for taking care of me when I was younger and for all your love. Thank you, Busha, Busha for all the ice cream adventures and the amazing ballet performances. Thank you, Sandy, for all the interesting conversations. Thank you to the rest of my family for all the love and support. Thank you, Rabbi, for the interesting talks and the conversations, and for helping me write this speech. Thank you, Cantor, for being here with me today. Thank you, Temple Beth Shalom, for being a supporter of my Jewish life since before preschool. Thank you, Leora, for being a supporter of thank you, Leora, for teaching me my Torah portion and prayers. Lastly, I would like to thank my friends for making me laugh, always being there, having fun, and encouraging me to be the best version of myself. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Such a beautiful speech. Thank you for sharing such important words. Oh, Alexandra, since our first meeting, I've been thinking about what I would say to you today, and I've told you that every time, too. You were so poised, and I could already tell that it was going to be so much fun working with you. And every second truly has been a joy. I always looked forward to our meetings because I know that we would catch up on all the really important things, like what color each of our nails were on that day, and then, of course, a million other things as well, until finally getting to the Torah part. And we would also have a lot of fun talking about Torah as well. You're so bright, bubbly, smart, mature, and so easy to talk to. It's a really beautiful thing to have such an easygoing personality because people feel really comfortable being around you. I'm going to miss our meetings, so you're going to have to come back and visit often. You really are a special soul, and you know who you are. You bring your whole heart to every experience, and that will continue to bring you and those around you happiness in life. People are blessed to know you. During this season in the Jewish calendar, there are 7 weeks counted between Passover, where we celebrate the freedom from bondage, until Shavuot, where we will celebrate receiving the Torah and commandments on Mount Sinai. According to Jewish mysticism, there are midot, values, associated with each week, and I think this is the perfect season for your celebration, as these each represent a part of what makes you so special, Alex. The first one is chesed, kindness. The amount of love and compassion you have for your family is evident. You have a heart of gold, and I know that it will lead you on your way in life. Tzedek, righteousness. Your natural moral compass will ensure that you make this world a better place. Gevurah, strength. You clearly have a strong sense of self, as your parents both mentioned. Your father with all the animals, yes. It's really very true, and it was evident right away. You have a healthy confidence, a spunky spirit, and you're wise beyond your years. Tiferet, the beauty of balance. It's amazing how easily we could go from telling each other stories to actually focusing and ready to learn all the different topics, and you were ready no matter what the conversation was. Balance is really important in life. Netzach, power. You're a natural leader, and when you set your mind to fulfilling your commitments, clearly you have the power to accomplish your dreams. Hod, thankfulness. And look how much you have for which to be thankful. Finally, Yesod, foundation. Your bat mitzvah today is your foundation for the rest of your Jewish life. You have a passion for Judaism, respect for your tradition and your family, and it's clear that you'll always have this foundation and the love and support of all your family and friends as well. You're a star and a joy to be around, and I know that you will use your Jewish values as a guide to be a mensch throughout your life. I'm so proud of you, and I know everyone else is here as well. So I'm excited for everyone to join me in wishing you a hearty Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov. And it's now my honor and pleasure to bless you in the most ancient Jewish blessing that we have, Birkat HaKohanim.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'ir Adonai panav elecha v'kuneka.
May God's light always shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May you always find and feel God's presence, and may God grant you shalom, peace.
Amen.
Amen. Ken
Mazel tov.
Yiratzon, may it be God's will.
We're going to dress the Torah. As we're dressing the Torah, we're going to ask and invite you to pass around that bag of candy, that thing of candy, so we can shower our bat mitzvah in a moment. Yitzchayim hi l'machasikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar. Yitzchayim hi l'machasikim ba v'tomcheha Shar deracheha tarchinoam v'chol netivoteha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Kaddish Amenu kekedem.
Everyone can now shower Alexandra with the sweetness that they have in their hands.
Simmin tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, yelanu. Simmin tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, simmin tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, simmin tov, yelanu.
Now any kids that are here with us or young teens can come pick up the candy. Rise as the ark is opened for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'ateit gedula liotzer bereshit shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu מלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
At this time, we turn our hearts and our prayers to those who are no longer with us. We specifically remember those who are no longer with us who were important to Alexandra and her family. Today we remember Edmund Ansin, Helen and Henry Lerner, Dan Bowden, Bob Leiter, Bernie Rubin, and Rick Case. We hold their names in our hearts and in our memories and hope that they will be zichronam livracha, that their memories will always be for us, for Alexandra, and for everyone remembering them a blessing. We turn to page 294 and find words of Kaddish, and we recite them together as one community. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach yiruteh ve'amlich malchuteh, b'chayachon u'v'yomachon u'v'chayei zechol Beit Yisrael, Bagala uvizman kariv ve'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach leolam olamei almaya. Yitbarach ve'ishtabach ve'tpa'ar ve'romam ve'tnaseh ve'tadar ve'taleh ve'talal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata ve'shirata tushbechata ve'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to all of us and to all of Israel, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. And it's my honor to invite up Cheryl Zuckerman to present the board gifts, followed by Mark Baranek, who will be presenting the certificates.
Mazel tov, Alex. You did such a wonderful job today. Your hard work and dedication clearly paid off, and it is an honor for me to be part of your bat mitzvah ceremony. Although I met your parents more than a decade ago, it was during these past 2 years that I've had the pleasure to get to know you, since you are one of Mila's close friends. You are smart, independent, and incredibly determined. Just ask the carnival workers in charge of the bottle ring game at Santa's Enchanted Forest. Those games are not meant to be won, but you camped out there for over an hour until you figured it out. I promise it'll be our little secret, along with Jane, regarding the number of times you had to swipe your credit card to achieve this successful milestone. You are also beautiful, athletic, funny, and a master of consuming enormous amounts of candy in the backseat of a car, whether it's Halloween or not. I love observing you and Helen and Sophie and witnessing firsthand the special connection that you have with your sisters. They are your built-in best friends and travel companions, along with your brother, Sydney. Alex, your positive spirit and humor light up every room you enter. You are always the first person to support and cheer on a friend. Whether in private or screaming in a packed school gymnasium, your friends always feel love and support. You are always there for your friends, making them feel better when they are sad, and helping them celebrate when things are good. You help them overcome setbacks and encourage them to pursue their dreams. It is clear that you love your friends, especially the wacky ones over there, and would do anything for them. And I hope you know they would do the same for you. Today marks a special day in your new relationship with Temple Beth Shalom and to the Jewish faith. You now take on new and important responsibility to your congregation, your community, and the Jewish people. So it is my honor, on behalf of the board of the Temple Beth Shalom, to present you with 3 special gifts. First, you'll have this certificate. You've earned it based on your bat mitzvah performance today. You'll have a Kaddish cup from the sisterhood, which reminds you each and every day of this joyous occasion that you will use on Shabbat, and a traveling Torah so you can continue your lifelong love of learning wherever it may be. Now, legend has it that a few months ago, you had a moment with Harry Styles at his concert. During his performance, he looked directly at you, and a permanent bond was instantly formed. Harry is a quite wise man, and he once said, "A dream is only a dream until you decide to make it happen." Alex, I hope all your dreams become a reality and that you will always remember this moment, a room filled with your friends and family beaming with love, pride, and admiration. This is just the beginning of your amazing story. I can't wait to witness all the greatness I know you will continue to achieve and the lives you will positively impact. Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov.
Cheryl, that was very nice. We see these a lot. We're here a lot. That was a lovely, very nice speech on behalf of the board. And they may be wacky, but I want to tell you, you're all very well behaved. Again, we do this a lot, and you're nice and well behaved, and should always be like that at all the bat and bar mitzvahs you go to. Miss Ansin, and I call you Miss Ansin. I've always called you and your sisters Miss Ansin because, frankly, I don't know which one of you is which. Honestly, I don't. All I know is you're the youngest, and now it's your bat mitzvah. And I have to tell you, I've watched you grow up. I've watched your sisters grow up. From the time you're all here at preschool, I remember your grandparents, especially your granddad, coming to pick you up after school. And your cousin has gotten so big since the time I knew him when he first started coming here for events. So Andy and Tatiana, it should always be very nice events like this in your lives. And hopefully the temple is going to be a part of that for many years to come. For all of you, to have your mom here and your sister and everyone here and your in-laws, it's wonderful. So I have some gifts too. I know you're probably going to a dinner. And Miss Ansin, let me just say one last thing before I give you those. You're always going to be welcome here. I know you said beautiful things when you spoke, but I want to tell you and to your sisters that there's so many activities here for you. I know you're busy at school with activities and sports and all that, but there's always things to do here for you as well. Rabbi Loibin, who you have a nice relationship with, supervises our youth program and directs it and is taking it to really high places, and we hope you can be part of that. Hope you can go to Israel. We can hope you can go on trips that Rabbi plans and know that that's always available for you. So, enough. Let me get to some certificates to give to you. Ready? This is a certificate that a tree has been planted in the land of Israel by the clergy and staff in honor of this special moment. An Israel bond has been purchased as well for you on behalf of your bat mitzvah. And finally, these are 2 gift certificates, one to the Alexander Muss High School in Israel program and one to the Nifty in Israel program, which we hope you can use after your 10th grade year. So to all of you, Mazel Tov, and again, it should always be nice moments like this. Mazel Tov. Congratulations. You're very sweet.
Mazel Tov again. We conclude our service with Havdalah to separate between Shabbat and the rest of the week. Thank you, Mark. Even though we don't want this beautiful Shabbat to end, we end it with sweetness and light as we hope we carry the sweetness and light from the service into the week and years to come.
Shavua Tov. We hope it's a good and blessed week for everyone, and Mazel Tov to Alexandra and her whole family.
Shavua Tov, 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 Shavua Tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Mazel tov, everyone.